So for all of you who are watching this today, right now, most likely at home, we hope that you're staying healthy and sane, and that you're doing the best that you can given the circumstances, and just know that we'll get through this too, and there'll be a brighter day in the future for all of us in regards to Bloom and yoga.
Totally agree. And I think the only thing I wanted to add is that, we have been so moved by everything we've heard from our whole community, from all of our amazing clients, even just among our staff. The love and support is really amazing. And I think, like Zach said, that, I like to think of silver linings for things like these, because it is a hard time. And I think the real silver lining has been that we've opened up this door to a new way to connect and a new way to be together, sharing yoga and well-being. So we're grateful for that. And we plan to continue the online offerings once we reopen for in-person classes in a new context. But we've heard from many of you who've been like, please keep that going. We love it. So we will definitely be including that as we open our doors again, whenever that will be.
Yeah.
So I think we wanted to just share kind of, take a little walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
It's been 15 years. We opened 15 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah. And why don't we, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Can we talk briefly about just the idea of Bloom? Because that started before we even were in Chicago.
Right.
It started when we were living in California, and you had been working and practicing in a number of different studios and finding some things that really resonated with you and some things maybe that didn't as much. And as we were planning our move back to Chicago, I think you started to have some ideas about what the ideal yoga studio might look like, right? So do you remember those conversations at all?
Oh yeah, I remember it vividly. So I remember coming home. I was in my second teacher training at the Iyengar Institute of San Francisco. It was a 2-year, 500-hour program. It was really intense and it was amazing. And I came home and I sat down with Zach, and we had luxurious, leisurely conversations back in those days because we did not have children. So we were just kind of talking about, I was saying, oh, this training is so amazing. I love teaching yoga. I was already teaching for several years at that point. And I was like, I just love this so much, but I haven't been able to find a place that feels like my yoga home. And so Zach, being the big thinker he is, turned to me and said, you should start a studio. And me, being the person who would be frequently scared at big ideas, was like, oh, I can't do that. I'm too young, too inexperienced, too not the right person to do that.
Did you say too beautiful?
Oh, I think I did. I'm too beautiful.
Too beautiful.
So I immediately just was like, I can't do that. That's scary. I didn't think, I thought you had to be someone else. And as often happens, I just kind of sat there and thought about it for a while. And then a couple days later, I said, maybe you're right. And then we started talking about it.
Yeah, I think what I remember specifically about those conversations was that, there are these different benefits that you're getting from the studios. And I think what you seemed to appreciate the most was a sense of community and excellence in terms of teaching. And that was great. And we wanted to carry on that as well. But sometimes that was also married with going to studios and there'd be a handwritten sign on the door that says closed for the afternoon or class canceled today, and there'd just be no notice of those things. And so maybe what we were seeing was that some studios just weren't really being run as oriented for the customer as we would have liked, as professionally as we would have liked. And so we wanted to sort of continue that sense of community and teaching excellence, but marry that with a sense of consistency and professionalism that was providing all of you guys with an experience that we felt like should be expected in the yoga community.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways, Zach is, spoiler alert, Zach's not really a yoga person, but he's amazing at it. Maybe you could even show them a few poses later.
I'm sure
he'll probably be doing that later. But he's not, he has practice, but it's not like it is for me. But what has really been amazing about the business partnership we have, we're partners, is that we brought Zach's world and my world together in this. He's worked in professional settings his whole career. I've worked in nonprofit or yoga settings my whole career. And we kind of blended the best of both of those worlds, we feel, with Bloom. And so the other big thing was, I was really into yoga, and as it happened, when I would get really into something, I would tell everyone I loved about it. And I found, telling friends and family who hadn't tried it yet, I know now almost everyone has tried yoga, right? But I mean, right. It's like, seems like everyone knows what yoga is. Your grandmother knows what yoga is, but back then yoga sounded like yogurt to a lot of people. So it wasn't a studio on every corner. And so I felt like when I would, suggest it to people, they were like, that sounds kind of intimidating, or like, don't I have to be really flexible or fit, or like, do I have to chant? And people were intimidated by it. And so I think that, that was the other big thing, was to try to really take the intimidation out of it and really make it for people in their everyday lives. Because I felt like yoga had totally transformed me and the way I experienced my life, but I didn't want to change. I didn't want to be a different person other than the goofy, clumsy person that I already was. So that was really the idea, like a place where you could be yourself.
Excuse me, I'm just letting some people into the meeting.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Good to see a close-up of my beard.
Yeah, that's right. Check out the beard. So thanks for those who just joined. Sorry we took a second there. But yes, so that was really it. It's like this blending of friendliness and professionalism, and also really making a place where anybody could come and try it without feeling intimidated, and could feel like, yoga was for them right now, no matter where they were. You don't have to be enlightened to start.
So that was the idea. That was the kernel of the idea. And we spent probably about a year, give or take, planning it, putting a business plan together, looking for the right space. For those of you who have been to the studio in person, which I think is most of you, if not all of you, you probably recognize that it feels like a very special place. It feels very comforting, and I don't know, to us it just feels right. But it took a long time to find that space. And we looked at a lot of different neighborhoods, a lot of different kinds of spaces, and I think we just sort of knew it when we found it. I mean, it was a blank space, but we could see the potential. We loved Rockwell. We loved Lincoln Square. Lincoln Square was our home for many, many years, where our kids went to school, had kids as well. And I remember after that year of planning, that first day, we really, you do all this planning and do this marketing, and you try to get the word out about the studio and what we're going to be offering, but you really never know until that first day what it's going to be like, whether it's going to resonate with people or not. I mean, what do you remember from that first day? Because it was really just us, right? I mean, it was us running it. You had found teachers,
right?
But we had no managers at the time.
Exactly. So we knew we wanted in the beginning to do everything ourselves in terms of the operation, so we could learn the business inside and out, and then bring on amazing managers who could help us run it. And we found a group of teachers, but back then I was teaching like 10 classes on the schedule. Yeah. So that was my plan, was to have some teachers, but for me to do a lot more of the teaching in the beginning.
I was full-time in school.
Yes, right. And Zach had just gone back to business school, and so it was kind of all hands on deck all the time. But exactly what Zach is saying, it was like heads down, getting it going. And then we were thinking, well, all right, we're going to do this grand opening. Is anyone going to show up? And so we advertised our grand opening, having a free first class with me. And I was like, oh, I hope people come. And we had 40 people in the class, and we had to turn away another 40 people that day.
Yeah, people lined up down the block.
Crazy.
If you've been to the studio, there was a line down to Leland in terms of the mailbox.
Oh, thankfully I didn't see that, because I was in the room being like, ah! Right. But actually there's a couple things before that are really funny little memories.
Some items of operational excellence.
Oh, super.
I think you have the money.
I'm thinking of that, yes. Okay, so we're getting ready to open. And, actually there's even something before we opened. I have to tell this, because we're going to show a few pictures in a little bit. And while we were under construction, I was going in every day, checking out the space. Like Zach said, it was a blank space, gravel floors, and you could see from the small studio to the end of the large studio. There was nothing there. So it was really incredible opportunity for us to create the space we wanted that felt really open, sunny, welcoming, everything. And so we were at the point where we were doing painting, like near to the end of the construction. And I remember the day I walked in and the paint had been put up in the large studio.
The paint that we had chosen.
The original paint that we had chosen. Right. And I just started to cry, because it looked like, the way I described it to Zach, I called him up and I'm like, it looks like a circus in here. One wall was bright orange, like tech bright orange, and the other wall was maroon. And then there was like a yellow pole in the middle. And I was like, this is wrong. And they painted floor to ceiling walls. I mean, it was a major thing. But we ended up repainting. And even you're going to see in the pictures, if you haven't been here before the paint job, you're not going to even recognize it. It's so different. And, you know, it was perfect at the time. And now we are so grateful for these amazing colors and the incredible redecorating that Deanna and Melanie and our whole team have really done for us, because it looks amazing.
Yeah,
they have a really good eye. Oh, and the other important thing, so the name of Bloom, the really funny and ironic thing about it. So we had thought of a lot of names. I had a list going, just like when we named our kids, like so many names that were all over the map.
Do you remember any of them?
I do remember. One was, I'm embarrassed to say this one, Supple Studio. I'm not sure, like softness. I don't know. That was very ill-advised. But also Rockwell Yoga. That was our major one. And then we also really loved for a long time Generations Yoga. Yeah. And there ended up actually being another studio that was named that years later. And I was like, oh, hey, great minds.
And the idea there was that it would appeal to people of all generations, right? All ages and stages.
Yeah. And then the Rockwell thing, that's obvious. We're on Rockwell. But anyway, so we ended up with Bloom as soon as we came to that, just like when we chose the names for our kids, it was like, oh, that's the name. Okay, got it.
Felt right.
Felt right. But, and also the Bloom part was like, you know, kind of a double meaning. Obviously, you know, there's the flower logo, but then there's the idea of blooming into your full self, your full potential, and all that. So the irony of this, and it's kind of an embarrassing secret for me, I am terrible with plants and am usually the one who kills them.
That's true.
So like the snake plant was the one that I've gotten permission to have in my little home yoga studio, because I think it's hard to kill. So you can watch over the next few weeks and see how I do.
Yeah, Bloom snake plant is hard to kill. Sounds like a good movie trailer. Whether it actually will survive is, I think, another.
I know. Okay, well, that may or may not have been me. That could have been a child. I'll leave this vent. Yes. So anyway.
The ones upstairs look a little bit better.
Zach is the green thumb in the family, but Bloom is such a beautiful name to me because of the part of feeling like you really come into yourself.
This could be like an inside joke between those of you who have seen this video and those of you who have not. The snake plant will undoubtedly be in Kerry's future teaching videos, and if you notice it's different, you'll know it's probably because she killed it.
And had to get a replacement.
Right,
but I may or may not admit that, except right here. So
That's
this is between you and me.
Inside secret.
Anyway, so I wanted to make sure to tell those stories. And then
what I was going to mention is that you know, we had done so much planning. We probably had 200-300 items on like the pre-opening checklist that we had, and we were up like the night before.
Oh, we'll tell that story too. Yeah.
Okay, so there was a lot that went into the opening, obviously, having never done this before and being relatively young and inexperienced. One of the things somehow we just totally missed, and I think I'll put it on me, was I think maybe half an hour before opening, we'd gotten everything arranged, and we had the computer system and the point of sale system all set up, and since Kerry was going to be teaching, I was going to be the one greeting everybody and handling all the transactions, and I was feeling pretty good. And I remember looking to my left at like 30 minutes before the first class started, before we opened the doors, and I noticed that there was nothing in the cash drawer. Like, it was completely empty. Somehow this major aspect of like retail transactions had completely slipped my mind. And I remember I had to hop in the car and run to Chase and get bags of coins and all this other stuff. But I don't know. I guess I was just imagining all credit card transactions.
Well, you just miss a few things. That was a bit of a misstep on our part, but it worked out fine.
Yeah.
The first class was free, so we did have a little wiggle room, but it was one of those.
But people were buying. They were buying other classes.
That's true.
So it was good that we had it.
Yeah, but that was funny. And I was, sweeping as the first people arrived, because the floor in the large studio, there was an issue with the flooring. And so only half of the flooring was installed when they first got it. And so we spent weeks with a half gravel floor. And we thought, well, this could be an interesting take on yoga. But luckily they did install it like days, maybe even the day before we opened. It was really down to the wire. So yeah, I was like sweeping up, and people show up, and I was a little like, okay, here we go. Then I started teaching the class to the 40 people, and then we gave complimentary classes to the 40 who showed up and couldn't get in. And I forgot to turn on the heat, and it was November, And so by the end of that class, the studio had never heated up, and I was so hot because I was so nervous. By the end of that class, I was just like shivery, and these amazing students, I mean, no one ever said anything. I don't know how they survived it, but we did. We all survived it. But a lot of embarrassing things. Also, the night before, Zach's wonderful parents, so both of our parents were really instrumental in helping us with getting this going. Yeah. Zach's parents were with us at Bloom the night before our grand opening until 2 a.m. We were having, do you remember what we were doing? We were having, the only ones. So we had friends helping as well. But Gwen and John were with us till the bitter end. And we were having a shoe cubby putting together race.
Yeah, we were putting together IKEA.
Yeah, I'm going to admit a few more people here, sorry. Okay. And so we had a shoe cubby race to see who could finish the shoe cubbies first. And I'm proud to say I remember who won that race, being the competitive person. Nope, sorry, put your hand down. It was the ladies. Go Gwen, fist bump. All right, so we put together those fist bump. We put together the shoe cubbies. We were hanging hooks on the bathrooms, or like the towel hooks. And, I mean, I don't even know what we were hanging.
Retail stuff.
So many things. And it was craziness. And then the next day, so then we had that class, and we had some time in between, and we had to go to Pier 1 and get those wicker type chairs that ended up being in the main space. Oh, the purple chairs. Can we take a moment of silence for the purple chairs? Let's just take a moment.
Yeah, well, for those of you who remember those purple chairs, you probably remember them as fondly as we do. What was it, from a theater company?
It was so we found them on Craigslist, and they were from a couple who ran a theater company in Rogers Park, and they were super nice, and we were like, sweet, these are the most awesome chairs ever. And we kept those chairs until a year or two ago.
Yeah, they were high quality, custom upholstered.
They were beautiful.
They were comfortable. That was my favorite chair when I'd come in.
That was everyone's favorite chair. And I'm embarrassed a little to admit I did take a couple naps in those chairs in the first few months we were open, because I was there all day, every day, and I took a couple naps there. Yeah. But it was sad when we got rid of them, but we love the new furniture. So I hope you do too.
All these little things that you
I know. I forgot.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot. So also we wanted to talk about just the party. And so my parents then came, and my dad is
You're talking about the opening.
Oh, the grand opening party.
Right?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, the grand opening. So we raced around, got those chairs, got a few more supplies for the party for that night, came back, had this party, and had a ton of people there. Like, I think we had about 100 people there, and it was more.
That feels like I think 150.
It was it was just jam-packed, full of love. It was awesome. And I think my mom probably made almost all the food that we served that night, or brought it. And I think even my grandmas were contributing their delicious recipes. So sweet to think about that. And then our friend Tara made us this beautiful cake. We have a picture of it. We'll show it shortly. And then I want to take a moment here and acknowledge Jana. She's on right now. Jana is one of our amazing massage therapists. We have a couple others on. I think Patty and Yitkar are both on as well. And we have Zoe, and we have, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone, but I don't know who right now. No, you're saying you can. Anyway, oh no, that might be it. So anyway, we have amazing massage therapists, and Jana was with us from before day one. So I got connected with Jana in kind of a roundabout way, and we were telling her about the grand opening. We didn't even have our massage license yet, so we couldn't offer massage for our clients yet. But Jana said, well, I'd come and do some chair massage. Boy, I don't think she knew what she was getting into, but Jana, you were a trooper, and maybe after we're done with our little walk down memory lane, you can talk through what you were going through that night, because I think 3/4 of the party received a chair massage from Jana that night.
Which is a lot.
It was incredible. And I was like, do you need a break? And she's like, no, I don't want anyone to not get a massage. And she really endeared the entire Bloom community to her that night, as have all of our other massage therapists in the years since.
Which I think is it's interesting to think about, because I think that so many people have been all in since the day one. But whether it was our day one or their day one, yes. Years later, whenever they join, we've been so fortunate to have so many people who sort of, they understand what we're trying to do, and they believe in it strongly, and their philosophy matches with ours, and with the students as well as our customers. And I feel like we've been so lucky with having so many people who sort of we're all in the same wavelength
Yeah.
together. And I think, for those of you who take massage or take classes, hopefully some of you are nodding your heads now too and feel it as well, because that's what we look for. We look for the people who sort of get it.
Yeah.
And not everyone does, but most do. Teacher-wise, certainly not everyone's been a total fit, but I think we've been very fortunate overall with everyone that we've had.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I
been
think that I totally agree. I think that's really shown by how many of our staff have been with us for
Right.
5 years, 10 years, Jana for 15. I think, Jana, you're the only one who's been with us since day one, but we've had clients who've been with us from day one. And we've had Sharon started like that very first year, in the first few months. I mean, we've had many of our team. Anna, our manager, who then became like a front desk manager, became our studio manager, became a teacher, like all these different things. People have come in so many ways. And
Lucy and Anna.
Yeah, Lucy and Anna were both managers, became teachers. We've had people who've been massage therapists who become yoga teachers through our training. Like, it's just we're just so grateful. All these amazing people coming together. So yeah, that's a nice, just a nice thing to remember, that's unique. We're grateful for that. And that speaks so much to all of you, our clients and our team, our staff. So I want to make sure I show some of these pictures from should I show some of them now, you think?
Have that?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think? Do you have any?
Well, I thought maybe, I don't know. Do you want to talk a little bit about midnight yoga? Because that was a fun moment in Bloom's history.
Yeah, midnight yoga was a lot of fun.
Super fun.
Yeah, I mean, we started doing it once a month. I mean, how long did we start doing that?
We started it in 2005. No, we
really?
started it before Theo was born, before our first was born.
Yeah, but by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar, the studio is 15 years old. We've had 3 kids since then. We're expecting our first grandchild.
What?
No, that's not true. Our oldest is about to turn 14. But we do have 3 kids now. So a lot has changed. In fact, when Theo was born, we had the "it's a boy" sign, right?
Yeah, Zach. After Theo was born, Zach was so sweet and had a sign made. Back then, it was still Kinko's. That's it. It was just like a laminated sign. "It's a boy." Hung it over the doors.
Yeah, it was a banner over the front of the studio, right on Rockwell. And then a few years later, when Sabrina was born, we had a 2 or 2.5-year-old. We were in the throes of the business, and I think I just started another venture on my own. So things were a little bit crazy, and I didn't have time to print another sign. So being slightly thrifty is maybe the best euphemism I can use. I think I just wrote not.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's not
a boy.
A boy.
To celebrate the birth of Sabrina.
So a lot of people didn't totally get that, but again, that was like a little inside joke.
Yeah.
And then when Vivian was born, we didn't even put up a sign. So
that's right.
Yeah, that was. But actually, that's a fun little segue for our 10-year anniversary party. So we've had all these kind of anniversary moments. We had a 5-year anniversary party, and we had so many amazing people come out for that as well. But then our 10-year anniversary was like the big one. And that was where we shifted from our old logo to the new logo and a new website. Mm-hmm. We had a massive party. And Anna, who's one of our teachers, she was one of the managers at the time, and Anna, and there were some other amazing managers at the time, Laura, and I think, I'm trying to remember who else was there at the time. She was part of our community at the time. Joey was one of our original managers. Joey, if you're listening, you are the best. And she was our first manager, actually. So we've had so many amazing people. But for that party, there was like this whole planning crew, and it was nonstop work. All the food, we did Costco runs. Gwen went with us for a crazy Costco run. And nobody knew it, but I was pregnant with our 3rd child, and I was exhausted. And so frequently we'd be doing all this work, and I would just lie down in the office. And I remembered some of the managers being like, "What are you doing?" And I felt like a slacker, but I'm like, I can't tell anybody. But at that 10-year anniversary party, Zach and I had that special secret between the 2 of us as we were kind of reliving everything, and that was really wonderful. It was a crazy fun time.
Little Vivian.
Yeah, and now she's 4.5, almost 5.
Yeah.
So time flies. Okay, so let's maybe talk about
finish about
midnight yoga, and then we'll show some pictures and kind of open it up.
Right. So you were saying midnight yoga. We started this a year after we opened, and the idea was to have
That was actually
class.
just a few months.
It started at midnight or ended at
10:30.
midnight, right?
Started at
Yeah, it was an
10:30
hour and a half
p.m.
class. It started at 10:30, and the idea was sort of a less of a yoga and more of a community-based experience, right? We had live musician. We had.
Let's give a shout out to Tim Percelli, who's been doing our midnight yoga and candlelight yogas since then. We've had other musicians who've come and gone, but Tim has been with us from the beginning, so that's awesome.
Did Tim play the
Didgeridoo? For sure, the didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo.
And he also brought a wonderful colleague who played singing bowls and other instruments, and it was beautiful. And it was candlelit with real candles.
Back then, we had lit candles.
I'm going to tell a story about that in a moment.
Yeah, it doesn't end with a fire, but it ends with a change. Yeah.
It doesn't end with a fire.
Okay, it does with a fire.
Okay.
But I remember your cousin. We had a lot of different
my
musicians.
cousin Danny
your
played
cousin
for us.
Danny playing
Oh, that was
guitar.
so awesome.
Yeah, that was a really fun experience. And then we'd have food afterwards, right? We'd have fruit and dessert, and we'd have wine and beer. It was just a really fun thing, especially before we had 3 kids.
Right, especially before we had 1 kid.
Right.
So we worked this. This was every month.
Right.
Zach was the desk man. I was the yoga teacher, and then we had Tim. And so every month from like early 2005 to early 2006, we did this. And then I was pregnant. So my last time teaching that, I was pregnant with our first child, and I was like, I think it's about time to wrap this up. Like, I'm super pregnant and can't show a lot of this stuff very well anymore. Right. So it was our last time, and we were still using the real live candles. And we're in Shavasana. We're all peaceful. And then all of a sudden I heard, and one of our students' blankets had caught fire with a candle. And so she patted it out and smelled like smoke. We all cracked up. There was no bigger fire, just her blanket. And then we all went back to our peaceful moment. And then we promptly switched to LED candles.
If any of you are listening or from Philadelphia Insurance, this is just a story we've made up on the spot. This didn't actually happen.
Not true.
There wasn't actually any liability or damage to the studio, so feel free to disregard that.
Just a funny little anecdote about some other studio that we knew about.
That's right.
Yeah. The other important, I can't believe I didn't already mention this. I have to. Okay. The grand opening. So we'd been there the night before. So go back again. It's 2004. And we'd been at the studio till 2 a.m.
in a zoot suit.
No, I'm going to show the outfit and I'm in, and I don't really know what I was thinking, but I don't have the best fashion sense. So please excuse my outfit. But we had been there since 2 a.m. the night before. We had the whole thing the next day, no cash in the drawer, teaching a class with no heat, running around the party. And so we're like cleaning up, getting ready for the next day. We don't even know what it's like to run a full schedule of classes. We've never done it. So we're like running around, trying to get prepared. And so we're getting ready to leave. You and I were there till at least midnight. I'm carrying out some of the leftover food and drinks. We're walking over to the doors, and I dropped a bottle of red wine on the tile floor. It shattered and splattered red wine all up the wall. Do you remember that? Between the 2 front doors. It was white, of course, because why would that have been the purple wall? That was a white wall. So I ruined the paint job within days of it being completed.
Yeah, it was
hilarious.
It worked out.
It was classic. Okay, so we're going to show a few pictures, and so excuse the me getting close up to the screen for a moment. Oh, and you know what, Zach? You talk for a second, because I'm going to have to do something.
Okay. Well.
Well, what do I say?
I was just thinking about how quickly 15 years goes by. And I wonder, for those of you who've been around with us for a while, if you remember when they were doing the construction on the Rockwell station, that was a big deal. I mean, what's happening now is a big challenge, obviously, to the business and to our community. The only other thing that we've experienced quite like that was when they had the CTA, the Chicago Transit Authority, had to redo the Rockwell station. They were doing all the at-grade stations, including Francisco and Kidsey and Kimball, and Rockwell was no exception. And that it meant they had to close the entire street for, it felt like months. And we would have community meeting after community meeting with people about, how this was going to work. And it was a big challenge for us. But what I remember most about that was just how much people stepped up to support us during that time. Mm-hmm. And obviously when I say us, not just Kerry and I, but the studio at large and everyone who's involved in it, it was huge for us. And I feel, obviously this is a different order of magnitude today, but the one thing that I don't want to say count on or depend on because that feels wrong, but I've been so amazed by
Yeah.
time and time again is just how much people step up and value what the studio is about and
Yeah.
what our managers and our massage therapists and our instructors, how much they do
Mm-hmm.
for everyone. And it's been again just so great to see what people are doing for us.
Yeah.
As a
And
studio.
for each other and for the whole community, it's been
Yeah.
so moving. And, you know, like, honestly, the emails that you send us, and you've even gotten some handwritten notes, which is so beautiful, of just love and appreciation. And our members really stepping up to be like, no, we want to continue our membership during this time. We believe in you. So thank you. It means everything to us. We're so grateful.
Yeah.
I also want to just take a moment to acknowledge Deanna, our incredible studio manager, for all that she has done. You know, with us being remote, having moved to Colorado a couple of years ago, you know, anything we have done in the last couple of years wouldn't have been possible without Deanna, without Anna, who was our studio manager before Deanna, and our incredible front desk team, as well as all our teachers and massage therapists. So
Absolutely.
I just want to say a moment of like, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're so grateful to you. Okay, with that, I believe you can see the original logo.
Yeah.
So fun fact, the B, so this was when we opened our tagline. I just was looking back at some old things yesterday, and our tagline was yoga, massage, and childbirth resources. Very different tagline. Now we're, you know, yoga and massage, like about your whole life and all the life stages. This was all me. I kind of zeroed in on that pregnancy part, but you can kind of see a little B hint of a pregnant belly there.
Profile of a pregnant
It was kind of trying to be sneaky, but I think a lot of people got it because it wasn't that sneaky. Anyway, that was our original logo that went with us for 10 years, and we loved it. So we're going to go to our grand opening pictures. Oh, who are those two babies?
Who's got that awesome haircut?
Oh, so there we are. That's our original front desk. As you can see, we were showered with flowers, which was amazing and appropriate. And I didn't kill them, so that's also good. But look at
colors were different.
Yeah, so you're going to get a hint of the colors, and you're going to get another full view in a moment. But the front desk was made of plywood, the surface, initially.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Then this was the large studio, not the best picture in terms of lighting, because we had some mood going on in there. But you can see that big purple wall and the blue wall. Those colors are different now. But that wall that was purple was that orange wall I told you about earlier that I cried over. Then these are the original colors in the lobby. Wow, it's so different. You see also we don't have our manager or our member mats there.
No clock on the wall.
No clock on the wall.
No suggestion.
Yeah, no suggestion box. The flooring is totally different now, as you might remember. Yeah, lots of stuff has changed. Then there is my mom in the purple and some of our dear family friends there. My mom is busily working on all the food. This is like a serious spread. That baklava was homemade by my grandma, my wonderful grandma. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, and my mom and everyone did so much work. Gwen and John, I'm sure you contributed food in addition to all the other things you did as well. Then here we are. That's the outfit I'm talking about. How about the pink pants and the tank top? Okay, thanks. This is the cake.
I was wearing my orange contacts that day.
Oh, that's right. So sorry, we both we have a bit of the red eyes in the family, especially on Zach's side. This was not enhanced, this photo. But that's the cake that our dear friend Tara made. Love to you, Tara and Adam. And there is the hardworking Miss Jana. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is where she was the entire night. She was incredible. Then fast forward to the 10-year. This is our 10-year anniversary. You can see the colors have changed. And we had such a lovely turnout. We gathered everyone together for a big picture. We did a little kind of sharing. It was so fun. It was a big love fest. And then I wanted to just flash forward to the 15 years. So we just celebrated 15 years back in November. And check out these balloon and decoration thing. This is Deanna and Melanie. Like, wow. They are available for parties if you need them. And so here we just have a couple of pictures of some of our amazing team. There's Jana in the middle. There's Deanna and Anna and Yitka. Oh, so great. We had such a great crew here, but my dad arrived kind of after some of the people had already left. And so he is an amazing photographer. So he took these pictures. And there we are, the manager trifecta. I don't know what to say about it, but yes, there we are. So that's it for the slides. I just wanted to kind of give you a little rundown of what it used to look like and sound like and feel like there. Yeah, so kind of a fun little walk down memory lane. So I think, what else do we want to say? Want to just like kind of open up for people who want to chat?
Yeah, if people want to chat or if people want to ask questions.
Yeah.
Anything. Maybe it's worth mentioning when people are on just about like how we're doing as a studio and how things are going.
That's a great idea. Let's do that for a moment.
Yeah, I think just in case any of you are wondering how the studio is doing, obviously it's sort of a difficult economic time. We're going to be fine. We're going to survive. We had a well-run business, and I think we saw what was coming pretty early on related to some other people, and you were really adamant about moving us online to online yoga right away, which is a great move, and we were definitely at the forefront of that. And I think more than anything, beyond providing a means for all of you to practice yoga, it's also helping to support our teachers and providing a consistent income stream to our teachers, because obviously times are difficult, and if this was a permanent business model, I don't know, but for the next few weeks or months, it absolutely will get the job done, and not only keep the lights on for us, but help support our teachers as well. We are continuing to pay our managers over this time. There are government programs we're taking advantage of as well. So we're going to be fine. Not a situation any of us wanted or looked forward to, but we're dealing with it, and we'll get through it. And when this is over, and the country or the neighborhood is ready, we'll open the doors again and try to get back to whatever the new normal is at that point. So anyway, long story short, Bloom is going to be fun, and Bloom will be here for the long run.
For sure. Yep. And I think, we've made it, we had to do a lot of thinking as we kind of launched a new business overnight, and, in this crazy time with 3 kids working from home, all that stuff, because launching the online yoga was like launching a new business, and, luckily with less wine spills and crying, but it was hard. But our number one priority this whole time has really been you, our clients, to keep you connected, because we've heard from you from the beginning, you want that connection, not only to yourself, but to the teachers and other clients, other students and massage clients that and then really, truly we always have our team at the forefront of our minds with everything, and how can we make sure we can support everyone and keep this team together. We love everybody, and we don't want any of that to change. It'll evolve for the better, because now we're going to have something else to offer you when we reopen. We'll have this online piece that will change from where it is now. But I really do, again, like Zach said, no one wanted this to happen, but I really feel great about where we are with it. The studio is going to be just fine, and we can't wait to reopen for live. But I think it's even going to be better when we reopen. We'll have something new to offer you too. So yeah, thank you for that. That's lovely. Okay, so does anybody have any questions or like stories or things they want to share?
Yeah.
Anything at all?
You're welcome to speak up.
Or actually, you probably can't speak up, but I can unmute you if you want to raise a hand or put something in the chat. If there are any questions or any things people want to share. And then while I'm waiting for that, I'll just let you know. Someone, yay, who's that? I'm ready. Oh, I see Dee Dee has joined, and Shannon, yay, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, if anybody wanted to share something, please feel free to speak up or put it in the chat. But I did want to say, our lovely manager, Sarah, is also on the call right now, and she is helping us to organize these Zoom with Bloom offerings. Sarah, do you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be offering the you all, I guess, a chance to chat with some of our teachers who are teaching online, and as well as some of the teachers who are not teaching online. So I know we've definitely missed our massage therapist Yitka is on next week. Our lovely teacher Dee Dee is on next week. We've missed her so much. So yeah, we'll be aiming to do these I think once a week, as long as everyone's game to chat with our lovely staff.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you for organizing everything, Sarah. You're a force, and I really appreciate it. And the format of those will be a little different. We wanted to do this as just like hear some of the funny stories from our history of 15 years, but this format will be a bit different, and will really be a chance for you to kind of ask questions of the teachers and the massage therapists and the managers who will be on, and just kind of chat and be a little more social and hear about how everyone's handling all this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We had a great question from Shannon. So Shannon's joining us from California. Shannon was local to us and then was not local to us, and she's wondering about if we're going to keep the online classes going. We will. It's going to evolve because we will reopen again with a nice full schedule of in-person classes, and so we're going to make sure that it makes sense the way we offer them. But we certainly do plan to continue online, and we'll have announcements about that as we get closer to that point. So thumbs up. We've heard that you all have spoken and we have listened. We will definitely keep the online. Yay. Thanks, Shannon. Let's see, anything else in the chat? I just see a bunch of thank yous, which is lovely. So, hey, Jana, not to put you on the spot, do you want to share anything about that crazy grand opening? Oh, you're on mute. Unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself? Yeah, there you go.
That opening night was unlike anything I've ever experienced. You guys were hilarious. It was so terrific. The community was responsive beyond responsive. There was people everywhere. You should have had like a loft built to put people up on a second story or something. But
so funny.
Thank you for the shout out. Yeah, I thought I cannot do another chair massage, but there'd be like 12 people in line. And I was like, I'm not going to. So the last people were getting like massages like this. Let me know if this is too much pressure, right?
So funny. You were unbelievable. I remember going to times in the night and saying, like, really, you can stop now. And you're like, but look at these people. They want massage. You were so sweet.
They were troopers too, because they waited in line, gave up food. They were drinking. They were drinking alcohol. That was fine, but but thank you for that thank you for the opportunity. It was a terrific night, and I'm so proud and happy to be part of the Bloom family. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen. And we miss you so much. And I know Patty and Yitka, you're on as well. Zoe's not on, but like our massage therapists, we really miss you so much right now. And I know our clients really miss you too. So we can't wait for you to be back in action massaging.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really want to put anyone else on the spot, but I just want to say, Dee Dee, I'm so happy to see you on the call, because we have really missed you so much, and I know your students are really missing you and can't wait to have you back. Do you want to say something, Dee Dee?
Just, I'm so excited to be included in any capacity. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week. Thank you.
We can't wait to have you on there and have everyone get to chat with you. And if you don't know Dee Dee, she's really amazing, a fabulous teacher, as are all of our teachers. And Dee Dee is particularly incredible for her gift with music and with really doing sneaky, challenging classes that then give you a really restful ending. So she's just lovely. So we can't wait to have you back, and can't wait to hear all the things you're going to share next week.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm not quite sure yet, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be great.
Don't worry, it's not going to be too personal. No, I think our idea with the Zoom with Bloom is really to find out what what are our teachers and massage therapists doing for their self-care right now? Like, what are their challenges?
Yep.
What are the unexpected benefits? And I just think it's so, I don't know, I've been doing a lot of different talks and like webinars these days about kind of what we're all going through. And the big message is being, hearing what everyone else is going through, just, it's comforting, to have empathy and to know other people are also experiencing challenges. So
Absolutely. I have plenty to share. I've been journaling and I'm really excited about it.
Yay!
We would only have to open this door for you to
That's
get
right.
some of the- check these
Just
out.
pretend there's not children who knows what out
So
there.
we understand.
Yeah, we know. Thanks, Dee Dee.
Yep.
Anyone else want to chime in as we kind of wrap up here? Anything else people want to share about how you're doing, or like anything at all?
Sounds like a wrap.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for this first Zoom with Bloom. It's just getting some nice thank yous. It's so nice to get to see familiar faces and names and to all be together. And again, join us again next Friday. And Sarah will be posting all the information. Deanna will be posting all the information. Please come out and be with your teachers and massage therapists and managers who miss you. So have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. And thank you all so, so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Oh, thanks, Denise. Such a lovely note. We really appreciate it. Oh, so much love. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.